The trend that started before COVID, but has definitely gotten a bit of an accelerant effect from COVID, is companies starting to experiment with indicators that probably link to the long-term health and success of the company, but they don't touch the near-term financials right now. And what's more, the linkage between these indicators and the long-term health of the company is difficult to identify and in some cases unproven. So this is where making a compensable metric out of a diversity goal, for example, is a conversation that's animating many companies. I think it's fair to say every company that Meridian works with would agree diversity is an important goal to have, however you define that. It's easy to say, well, we'll just pay for more diversity, we'll pay for the outcome. So whatever population we have that is underrepresented at our company, we will pay for improving that statistic. That's paying for an outcome. And it lends itself to some difficult issues with, say, tokenism or quota setting, paying people for achieving a result, however that result was achieved. And in the case of something like diversity, you could be paying for the result without changing the underlying issues that drove the inequitous result in the first place. And so where it becomes tricky is sometimes you want the corporation to focus on these things, but it's not necessarily the right move to pay for them, because if you don't pay for an outcome, you instead have to pay for an input, or for what we sometimes call a leading indicator. And that measurement is very difficult to do. Another good example would be carbon neutrality or greenhouse gas emissions, something that has to do with climate change. Most companies would say this is important and the long-term health of the company depends on what progress we make or what part we play in dealing with climate change and our carbon neutrality. But how do we pay for that? And is it appropriate for us to pay for that contribution? This is a place where third-party standards led by large institutional investors may help, but they're fairly early on in their infancy. And so I expect in time we will see more of those standards emerge, and we'll probably see more companies beginning to tease out what the right metrics to use actually are and begin paying for leading indicators with better methods of measurement than we currently have. But right now, that's a difficult set of performance objectives for many companies.